we're gonna be reacting. Somebody in the comments said one of the videos I think it was the Lions video. I wasn't talking that much, and it was like, bro, you should talk more. And I was like, last video I was like, maybe I'll do a reaction. And what else to react to besides the game I'm the best at and am the most knowledgeable about? So, what is the perfect Fortnite meta? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Resub. Now this video is old, but I still think his opinions are gonna withstand to this day because when did this come out? This came out 3 years ago. Excuse me. This was 2021. If I'm correct, the types of shotguns and like types of weapons in the game and items haven't really changed that much. So let's get into it.
There have been many good and many not so good metas over the course of Fortnite competitive's history, but what is the perfect meta? There are three main components to a good meta in my opinion: balance, competitiveness, and of course, fun. Here's a list of the categories that we're going to be looking through, so let's just dive straight into the
Check out the game. Check out the game. No deagle, no man with a pistol.
first one.
Continue.
Now, which rifles are available is always of key importance in any meta, and I think there's three that are my
Make sure to like and subscribe so I can get a Fortnite code and get monetized.
personal favorites, and they all have their individual roles which they would fit within the meta. Firstly, the regular assault rifle. Pretty standard, you can't have a meta without this, let's be real. It is just the baseline of any form of AR.
For me, just not the AK. That shit buns now.
That you're going to have in basically any meta. Next,
Or the scope assault rifle. That shit trash. That shit trash.
I would have the infantry rifle. That fills up that long-range rifle slot. However, it's very
Put this in instead of the AK. Great work.
disadvantaged when you have it in a box situation. So just having an infantry rifle, you're definitely at some form of disadvantage, in particular if you're just playing solos. And the final one I'd have would be the tactical assault rifle. Now, this hasn't been in the meta for a long time, but it's been a personal favorite.
You can tell this is outdated, but for me, I would say not the normal assault rifle because of the bloom they put on it. So I would say the hammer, the infantry, and then I can still see TAC AR.
Favorite of mine in terms of the balance because it uses mini ammo instead of large ammo. So for trios, which is obviously we've been playing for a long time, there's an interesting
We just went back to trios.
trade-off here where there's less damage. However, there's a higher skill gap to the weapon in terms of the fact that it's not really a bloom weapon, but also just does less damage. So all three of these ARs are low bloom ARs as well, which I think is really important.
That's why I said put the hammer in. The normal AR is not low bloom anymore.
Which means they're the highest skill AR rifles that are in the game. So they're
no first person AR.
going to really reward the better players to use these. However, at the same time, they're all balanced in their own way because they have their own roles within a team. So that's for long range. What about close range? The shotguns. This is
pump, tack, charge. Actually, no. Me personally, no pump. Charge. Charge makes people actually have to play smart.
always up for discussion, but I have a meta that has always been a personal favorite to me. In Chapter 2, Season 4, at the
charge, tack, and then like that one niche shotgun, like a double barrel, a dragon's breath, or a ranger or some shit like that.
start, for a couple weeks, there was only pump shotguns and charge shotguns available within the game. They later on added tactical shotguns to that as well, which I didn't actually like. I didn't think that was the right change. But the balance between pump and charge has always been really interesting to me. Now, a lot of people don't like the charge shotgun because it's clunky. However, when it's balanced against the pump, I think this fits perfectly. The pump is faster and has a little bit less range. However, you can make a lot easier aggressive box fighting plays with the pump. When it comes to the charge, yes, you can do a little bit more damage defensively, but at the same time, it's a little bit more clunky and it has a little bit more range. That charge
Rezon look like a baby. What the
will
hell?
do a little bit more top-end damage if you're holding it fully charged, but there's the trade-off because you have to spend the time, and that pump is fast.
The charge is better for team game modes, I'll say that. I don't care, put it in solos. This way these fucking brain dead creative warriors don't have to actually learn how to play the fucking game.
And you can do plays so you can edit with it much quicker. If these were the only two shotguns in the meta, regardless of which one you picked up, you would have a powerful shotgun in your hands, instead of current metas when you could have a green or grey tactical shotgun and the opponent could have a purple or gold pump. There's a huge disparity in terms of top-end damage there, but with a charged pump, there's always a much closer gap. Now, for submachine guns to assist you with that shotgun, I would just say take...
Give me like the normal SMG The Tac SMG is buns now. The drum gun is trash unless you have the mythic one. I'll say yeah, just a normal SMG, honestly. And then like, if you want to like, well, I'm trying to think non-OP SMGs. Primal SMG wouldn't fit. Twin mag. Oh yeah, twin mag. Yeah.
Take the regular submachine gun. Don't need to have the silenced. I think the silenced is pretty poor, and no one really wants to run that in a meta. However, I would make the submachine gun only go up to blue. I really don't think there's any need to have a purple or gold submachine gun, the P90 equivalent in the game. I think it just rips too much, and honestly, if you want to take submachine guns, blue is really, really good still. And most importantly, it's not frustrating to play against. If you get hit by a lot of damage, you need something to heal with. So what do I think is the perfect balance? Well, if we add too many items here, you run the risk of diluting the loot pool and making it so that you don't actually end up getting.
Now, minis, big pots, med kits, bandages. Make the vegetables still available in various places around the map. Bring bandy cannon and chug cannon back, and if you get one, make them able. You can, if you find a bandy cannon, you can turn it into a chug cannon some way somehow. And bandages recharge the bandy cannon, and chug splashes recharge the chug cannon. Chug splashes will also be in the game. And then I think there should be like always have mending machines in the game. Mending machines should always be in every game. Oh, that's just so tough. Make floppers and slurp fish. Revert them back to 50 and make them. If you're not gonna revert them back to 50, make them easier to find. Cause I don't feel like having to go and fish to get shits. Make them like when you open coolers, make it coolers and the ice chest. Make it so instead of out the coolers you get vegetables. And the ice chest you get straight small fries. Make it so you just get fish again.
The things you want. So on top of the basics, I still think they should be in the meta in terms of minis, bandages, medkits, shield potions, you know, all the fish, all the fruit as well, which is basically what we had this season in season 7. So what do I think we should add on top of that? Well, firstly, I think the chug jug should also be in the game. I don't really understand why that
I'll say that. I would say put it in the mending machine. So
hasn't been. It's been a staple, and it's an iconic Fortnite item that hasn't really been in this chapter at all.
The chug jug is only good when you just finished a fight and you're not getting third partied, so you can get back, so you can top yourself up. But I would say the chug jug, if y'all they would have made it better if it was like the big pots or like the med kits where you start drinking it, but then once you get the full, it just cancels.
Side of the infinite chug.
You don't have to pop the whole thing to get the benefits. It starts gradually ticking your health up.
Chug jug variation.
Don't ever bring slurp juices back. Ever. Don't. If you're going to bring them back, make them the way they were before. It was like 1 a second. Make them a little bit better than that. But don't do what you had. No. That season was Overwatch. Way too much damage. Way too much healing. No. Absolutely not. Don't do that ever again. Please. Thank you.
That was in chapter 2 season 3. However, to not dilute the loot pool that much, I would suggest that these potentially maybe come from a llama every time you get one of those, rather than getting the chug cannon that you got this season. A chug jug would be really, really good. Now for chug cannons, obviously I want them gone. Those things are really, really busted. However, I think it would be really good to actually still have the bandage bazooka back in the game.
I feel like the chug cannon and the bandage bazooka was both kind of buttons. You know what I'm saying? Because of the recharge time, and it only does 15. Literally carrying chug splashes would be better. The only upside to it is that it's infinite. Or make it so one of them is only shields, one of them is only health.
As well. I feel like the bandage bazooka was a really good balance of things you could take for a heal off weapon. The fact that it took 2 item slots was absolutely perfect. But again, I don't want
I was literally asking for a shield when they brought out the chug cannon and they made it do health and shields. I was like, oh shit.
Filling up the loot pool and getting these out of chests or something that you don't want. So potentially you could get these out of supply drops instead. And there's a potential alteration to them so that they don't recharge when you're in the zone. So they only start recharging once you're actually in the circle, not if you're getting ticked by zone. This would prevent things from happening, like the heal off situation that ends up happening in Orchard or the...
But like, if I'm in pubs and I'm running and I got stuck in the zone and my bandy cannon not recharging, I'm gonna have a fit. I'm gonna fight somebody. I'm gonna want to fight somebody.
Kree strat, as it's mentioned. So this would be a little nerf to that, which I think would be a good addition. Plus, it would stop people obviously just sitting in zone the whole time with the bandage bazooka. So we've not really added anything in terms of floor loot yet, but the only thing I would add in terms of floor loot would be the chug splashes as well. I'm a big fan of chug splashes, and I think they fit the meta very, very well. They take
I did not pre-watch this video. I've seen it before. All I remember is the AR, the attack AR, and the infantry. Everything else, I don't remember.
An inventory
I'm just
slot,
giving
they're
my
not
genuine
infinite like the
opinion.
chug cannon was. So fire back in some chug splashes. They're so good when it comes to team modes.
That's a nice
All right,
clip.
so what about pistols though? I think two
Listen, no more heavy pistols. Mammoth pistol, burn it. Delete the code for it. Make it be gone. Deagle, be gone. Not as much as the mammoth pistol, but still, be gone. Normal pistol. Or like some variation of it, like the combat pistol. Actually, no, bring the tac pistol back. The tac pistol was tough. Tac pistol was tough.
pistols fit the meta the best. Firstly, the
Because remember, now all pistols are automatic.
suppressed pistol. I think this fits a lot better than the regular pistol just because it has a little bit more viability outside of just having when you've got a grey one. Some people might actually want to pick this up if they can't find anything else and they need to use that mini ammo because it has such good first shot accuracy resetting at the same time. Particularly in higher level games, if you have really scuffed loot, you can still get some good storm surge tags with a suppressed pistol over a regular pistol. The other one that I would like to use is the flintlock. The flintlock.
The reason I say no to this, it's a pistol that uses heavy bullets and it has one shot. It's annoying. Y'all fucking bail out niggas that go flintlock pump and start with the flintlock to put you in a goddamn damn near stun effect. Despise y'all. Hate y'all niggas, bro. Y'all be getting on my nerves.
Is such a good and balanced item to have within the game,
so
in particular for things like solo rotations, and given the fact that you take fall damage from it too, there's a ton of viability
You don't say fall damage from it anymore, by the way.
to this item, given it also takes up an inventory slot. It fills up that utility slot as well, so less people will probably take snipers, and it uses sniper ammo, so less people will be able to sit and just spray with their snipes, hiding behind peaks the whole time. So talking about snipers, what do I think the snipe should be? Do I think there should be no snipers? No, I actually do believe that there should be snipers within the game. I think it's an integral part of the majority of shooter games. However, I think Fortnite snipers are way too easy to use. So I suggest one of two things. However, I think Fortnite snipers are way too
There is nobody on your screen.
easy to use.
It phased through the wall because his teammates was spraying.
So I suggest one of two things. Firstly, they only have hunting rifles and they're relatively rare, so potentially only in purple and gold variants.
This is like when they tried to put the Reaper only in the vaults and this shit was still broken.
Prevent every team having one or two snipers within the game.
That was as broken?
Or
No,
they
was
just
it
have
still
regular
broken?
bolt snipers and they revert the bullet drop off to the way it used to be in early chapter 1 where it was much more difficult to use. Now I don't see them ever really
Niggas done got too good. Don't bring these shits back ever.
doing that, so only hunting rifles is probably the way I want to keep it. Explosives, none.
Thank
But
you.
what about the
I didn't even stage that. None. No. Get them out. Gone. Bye. Thank you.
always debated question, which mobility should be in the game?
Shockwaves, bouncers, launch pads, crash pads. Make crash pads. Make them a size in between crash pads and crash pads juniors. Crash pad mediums and make them not break structures. Those would be tough. Actually, I could see not having shockwaves because like now, you open henchman chest, you get one shockwave. You get a shockwave. So I can see why shockwaves people don't like them in comp. Don't add grapplers back because you can't play height. Playing height is. I remember I was in an end game in ranked. It was a 1v1, and we was on the mountain by the grotto. I found there was a llama on the cliffside. I built over to it, got the mats. After that, I don't think he built once. He just kept grappling up and pumping, and then I couldn't heal because he kept grappling up and pumping. I don't think he had mats, but the grappler just rewards you playing stupid, and I hate it.
Firstly, I think launch pads makes things way too easy, in particular for taking height, and it just makes height messy and difficult to hold. So I don't think they should be in.
So it's like the grappler type shit.
But what should be in the game?
But like with the flowberry, Fizz. Wait, Fizz. I'm tweaking. I'm forgetting. Fizz. Was height safe when you had a grapple blade? I don't remember it being that hard to hold. But I would say no grapple blade. You can keep the grapple blade. Maybe. But Fizz for sure. Fizz for sure. I forgot Fizz. Because we got used to Fizz padding. So now the regular launch pad don't feel high at all.
Game in my opinion. But when it comes to mobility, they always should have some form of risk or trade-off for them. When it comes to launch pads, there's no trade-off to picking them up. So the first one I would like to see is the inflatable kept. This takes up an inventory slot. It's only for you, and obviously if you get shot out of the air, which only takes a single bullet of any weapon, you'll take fall damage from this. Similarly, I'd like to see shockwaves only if they don't break builds, or impulses if they don't give you fall damage. Very, very similarly, this is a form of mobility that takes up an item slot within your inventory. So there's a trade-off.
I didn't want shockwaves in, because they be causing carnage in games. But the thing is, the reason I say shockwaves if they don't get fall damage is because you can't say one or the other, because they go two completely different distances. So I would say shockwaves, because impulses make you way too easy to track because you're going too fucking fast, way too fucking slow. Like with shockwaves, if you just go straight forward, you go fast enough to the point where you can't get tracked like that unless they're like really good. With impulses, it doesn't matter what direction you go, you're gonna get tracked because you move slow as shit.
Picking it up to give you that mobility.
Just make a version of shockwave specifically for a comp that doesn't go
side. And I also mentioned the flintlock earlier. Similar thing, you have to take up an inventory slot for this, so there's a trade-off for picking up this form of mobility. Now, I'd also have bouncers in the trap slot as the only trap item, and the trade-off from these is the fact that you fly slowly. And if you remember back to this,
bouncers are so balanced. If you use them wrong, you get punished. If you use them right, they're amazing. I love bouncers. I am a person that personally uses bouncers. I love me some bouncers.
Seasons that had bouncers in them, when players used these, they were very, very frequently beamed out the sky if you're rotating an endgame. So there's a trade-off to having bouncers in, and they're a very balanced form of mobility. So overall, inflatable, shockwaves if they don't break builds, or impulses if they don't give you fall damage, the flintlock pistol, and bouncers would be such a good balanced mobility in my opinion. And finally, the miscellaneous items. What do I want?
Add 100% chest spawns, please.
In the game. Harpoon has been sorely missed this last season. I'm a big fan of the Harpoon. I like how it plays in endgame. I like how the fact that it fills again that utility slot.
You know what you could bring back? Or you could bring the grapple glove back, low key.
That potentially means less snipers in the match as well. So a very big fan of the Harpoon and the way you can get more materials with it. And also, without Harpoon in the meta, we figured out that fishing is basically useless as well. In competitive, there's barely
back in the day, I used to not fish unless I had a Harpoon.
Any teams who were able to fish from the figured out that fishing is basically useless as well. In competitive, there's barely any teams who were able to fish from their drop spots because it took so long.
Back when floppers were comp. Good times.
To fish, they just didn't. They just ended up focusing on their rotate. So the Harpoon back in it creates a lot more variability in playstyles in early game and in the end game. And finally, the shield bubble, my favorite item of all time.
Really? Wait, favorite
item that was only in season.
Shield bubble is shield bubble juniors, because now that we have zero builds, shield bubble juniors are in zero builds with the bush bomb. I would say you can leave shield bubbles out low key. Actually, you can keep them in.
If you remember, you could throw it on cars, you could throw it basically anywhere, and it stopped shots being able to come through. Seemed like a little bit of a ripoff of the Halo 3 bubble shield. But anyway, this was an
so common to the point where they clog up the loopholes.
Amazing item. I vividly remember a scrim that we played where we were on opposing heights at 5th zone. It pulled the other way, so we threw it on, launch padded on them, and took height from that. There's so many good plays that you can make with a little bit of a rip-off of the Halo 3 bubble time that was only in Season X, where if you remember, you could throw it on cars, you could throw it basically anywhere, and it stopped shots being able to come through. Seemed like a little bit of a rip-off of the Halo 3 bubble shield. But anyway, this was an amazing item. I vividly remember a scrim that we played where we were on opposing heights at 5th zone. It pulled the other way, so we threw it on, launch padded on them, and took height from that. There's so many good plays that you can make with the shield bubble at the same time.
237 FPS is such a specific number. Side note, that's just such
can prevent you being focused. Plus, it takes up another inventory slot too. The shield bubble.
You have a tac shotgun and you shot the tac and switched to an SMG. That's
is the most balanced item in the game. And I'm going to do a full video on it in the future because it was just amazing. So that's my perfect meta. Let me know if you agree or disagree. New season, so don't forget to use code RESUB in the item shop if you buy the battle pass. Peace.
But yeah, that's my takes on what is on the perfect Fortnite meta. I hope y'all enjoyed. If y'all fuck with the reactions, let me know. If y'all want me to, let me know what y'all. Oh Lord, let me know what y'all think about me having more than one channel. Or for those that don't know, I'm debating on if I want to upload everything to one channel, this channel, and just make playlists, or if I want to have 3 separate channels. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I appreciate y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.